Hello friends, it's taken 19 years, but M. Night Shymalan has finally concluded his Unbreakable Trilogy, proving that the filmmaker is almost as slow as George R. Martin when it comes to delivering magnum opuses. Yes, Glass is at last in theaters, and like many superhero movies, and many M. Night Shyamalan movies, it's proving to be somewhat controversial among fans. Have no fear, however, because on this week's Heat Vision Breakdown, we're going to help you process all those feelings you're having about Glass and its conclusion. We're in this together, guys. Warning, this is a spoiler-filled video. Do not watch this if you haven't already seen Glass. To reiterate, there are spoilers in this video.
Oh, I'm leaving!
He hasn't seen it. First things first, a quick recap of the big action in the movie. David Dunn, aka Bruce Willis, aka that guy who's always prepared for a rainstorm, now has his own home security store and spends his nights going on walks, which basically means beating up bad guys while his son feeds him information via a Bluetooth headset. The Dunns are on the hunt for Kevin Wendell Crumb, aka James McAvoy, aka a dude who should never be allowed within 100 feet of a high school pep rally. Ugh. A man with split personalities and star of 2017's Split. Crumb has kidnapped 4 cheerleaders, but luckily for them, Dunn is able to figure out where the young women are being held after running into Crumb and getting a psychic vision. A battle between Dunn and the Beast, Crumb's monstrous persona who is apparently allergic to wearing shirts, ensues. But before it gets too out of hand, the two supes are captured by Dr. Ellie Staple, a psychiatrist specializing in people who believe they are superheroes and supervillains. Dr. Staple spends a good chunk of the movie trying to convince Dunn, Crumb, and Elijah Price, aka Samuel L. Jackson, aka yet another reason to never trust anyone named Elijah, sorry Frodo, who has been in custody since his capture at the end of Unbreakable, that there are scientifically explainable reasons for their apparent powers, like a radioactive spider bit them, or they were exposed to gamma radiation, or the US government injected them with some type of super strength serum, or maybe they were like locked in a cave in Iraq and they had to come up with like some way to make a super suit, or lots of other examples. He was gonna cut me off eventually, I assume. She has a group therapy scene to lay it all out for them, psychiatrist style. The Beast's ability to climb walls? Well, Crumb's computer had tons of rock climbing videos on it. Clearly, he was just a rock climbing enthusiast. Okay. What about Dunn's psychic ability? Well, he's just really good at deducing clues, sort of like Sherlock Holmes or a really great magician. Right, all right. Don't really think magicians can bend steel or survive train crashes. And Mr. Glass's genius? He's just a super smart guy with supervillain tendencies, like Lex Luthor, or Mark Zuckerberg, or that guy who owns Jimmy John's. There's something going on with him. Dunn and some members of the Horde seem to be buying it, but Glass isn't having any of it. He engineers an escape for the trio with plans for the Beast and Dunn to have a big showdown at the top of the biggest building in Philadelphia. A clash of titans that will prove to the world that people with powers exist. Really though, picking any city other than Philly might have been a better choice if your goal was to attract attention to a catastrophic scene. Do you see that place after Super Bowl 52? I don't think 2 bald guys fistfighting is gonna get that much attention in Philadelphia.
I'm going bald?
Anyway, here's where Shyamalan pulls the biggest twist that is causing fans grief because that showdown never happens. Instead, there's a battle outside the hospital and our protagonists, Dunn, Crumb, and Mr. Glass all die at the hands of a secret society that has been keeping people with powers under wraps. Because Dr. Staple had 3 days to convince her patients that they weren't superpowered or else they'd be killed. Unfortunately for them, she's not very good at her job. Oh yeah, and David Dunn ends up drowning face down in a puddle because his weakness is water. Why does that sound so familiar? As Dr. Staple says, we can't have gods walking among us. I don't know how godlike it is to be killed by a puddle, but whatever. But true to Shyamalan form, there's one final twist. Mr. Glass secretly had the showdown videotaped via the hospital's many cameras, and that footage was sent to the surviving loved ones, who then upload it for the world to see. Glass believed that if people knew their own true potential, they would exceed what they viewed as their own limitations and create a world of wonder. Now, I understand why you might be disappointed that Shyamalan robbed us of that promised final confrontation, and also that fan theories saying Anya Taylor-Joy's Casey Cook would be revealed to have her own powers didn't really come to fruition. And yes, I admit, I'm disappointed too, but it's in moments like these that we should look at the positives and form our own glass half full support group. Oh,
There you go, buddy.
thanks guys.
It's gonna be okay.
Feel loved. Way back in 2000, Shyamalan disappointed many fans who expected Unbreakable to be The Sixth Sense, but with superheroes. It wasn't. Instead, we got a meditative deconstruction on a genre that was not yet popular on the big screen. Why then would we expect Glass to take a page from the superhero glut of the past 2 decades and end with a big slugfest? It's also entirely possible that in years to come, this film's stock could rise among fans, just as Unbreakable has become better regarded over the years since its release. Glass very much feels like a film that was not audience tested to death, that didn't give in to fears that it might not be big enough. Perhaps we should applaud Shyamalan for ending his trilogy the way he wanted to end it. If nothing else, Shyamalan has proven throughout his career that he has a lot of ideas, and while not all of them work as well as Split, The Sixth Sense, or Unbreakable, and some are borderline unwatchable like The Last Airbender, The Happening, or After Earth, at least he's willing to take major risks. The big question some fans might have after leaving the theater is whether Shyamalan is trying to set up a bigger world. Mr. Glass says as he's dying that he got it wrong, that this was an origin story all along. That origin story is not for him, or Dunn, or even Crumb, though he did technically create Crumb, whose father died in a crash that showed Dunn his powers. No, this origin story was for the rest of us. You and me. John Q. Normal. Glass has created an entire world in which people can see their potential, and presumably many, many more superpowered beings will emerge from it. But don't bet on this being something we see in follow-up films. Shyamalan himself has said he has no intention of making further sequels. This trilogy feels self-contained. If Shyamalan really wanted that drag-out fight at the top of the tallest building in Philadelphia, he would have done it. No, this feels like the end, which is another refreshing change of pace from the comic book realm. Outside of Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight trilogy or Logan, when has something ended when it actually was meant to? After all, not walking away is how you end up with Topher Grace playing Venom. Nobody wants that.
I like being bad.
So what do you guys think? Was Glass a disappointment, or did it add a satisfying conclusion to the Unbreakable Trilogy? Let us know in the comments right down there, and join us here every Friday morning for new episodes of Heat Vision Breakdown.
Are you done with spoilers yet?
Oh yeah, man, don't worry about it.
Okay, cool.
Bruce Willis dies in a puddle.
What?